Hey everyone, welcome back to This Is the Police. We are the police chief of Freeburg, we are Jack Boyd, and we're trying to, make our staff come to work for starters. But when they get to work, we're assigning them the appropriate jobs for their professionalism level. Boy, am I ready for this day. Our wife has left us, by the way. We get to choose another song. We had Chopin last time. No. Billabong. Sure. Ooh, some more smooth jazz again. I like it. And we're trying to make $500,000. That's our job at the moment. Right, crime in progress. City Hall parking lot. A member of the city's cleaning crew saw an elderly man approaching some expensive cars in the parking lot, carrying a long iron rod. The whole street could hear him shouting, "Bastards! Thieves! Bloodsuckers!" You know what? This sounds like a job for Birch and Asano. If someone commits a serious crime and flees the scene, the case goes to your detectives. Ooh, the ghetto. They investigate the crime scene, interview witnesses, and gather whatever information seems pertinent. One of your detectives will be the lead investigator in the case. You can assign additional detectives to any case who will work under the lead investigator's subordinates. The more professional the lead investigator, the more effective the team. Okay. Well, we're going to get Mole working on this. And I cannot say no to this mustache and hat combo. The Burrito and Mole, get onto this case. Black activist Ronnie Moore was found shot outside his home. Unfortunate choice of name, but we'll deal with it. Wasn't Ronnie Moore, by the way, a very known criminal in UK law? Or am I mixing him up with someone else? Maybe I'm making a mistake here. A gas station surveillance camera recorded a car that's on the stolen vehicle list. I can send 4 police officers for this. My other ones aren't near coming back right now, so I can't deal with another case if something comes in. So I'm going to send Purdy and Kochi and hopefully they can do it, the dream team. Okay. Investigation has started on the homicide. Detectives have interviewed witnesses, collected evidence from the scene, and are pursuing the investigation. Expect results. Mr. Graham. They drove by in a sedan and they shot like a machine gun. I didn't see much. A drunk witness. I only heard a few muffled shots. Mr. Clayton. Mr. Carr. He got what he deserved. He's been causing trouble for a long time, and recently there's been a lot of cursing and carrying on. Not what you want to hear from one of your witnesses. Miss Cobb? I don't remember the car, and the neighbourhood was quiet. I never heard any shots. Okay, some real conflicts of interest in the clues. Daryl Carpenter, a neighbour. The police these days don't do nothing. I almost died myself. I went to buy some medicine and was nearly hit by some idiot's car. Well, hopefully it wasn't a police car. Is that all we've got to go on it at the moment? I think it is. Destruction of property? Offender escaped. Oh no, it's a downgrade. Fire all black cops. A racist gang has recently made some trouble in the city. They're capturing black townspeople and beating them to death. They recently sent a message to a local radio station promising to kill all the black doctors, firemen and police. We don't need any more dead people, especially not mere months before the election. The racists are gaining more and more followers, and even some of our citizens support them. You'll have to fire all your black employees over the next 2 days due to mounting racial tensions. Excuse me? The police does not bend to the likes of ye yops out there. No, I refuse to fire my staff over this. Speaking of which, I have full staff now. Yeah, I have full staff. Don't worry, Austin. You're still going to have a job. Okay. Desire Park. Corey Ramsey, mother of several children, has expressed her concerns about suspicious men wearing bifocals, seated on a bench outside a playground. He's been watching the children for over an hour and has taken several photographs of them. Hopefully this turns out to be nothing more serious than it sounds, but we'll send Tsubaki with Austin to back them up. The carjacking. The driver is nowhere to be seen. Wait at a safe distance for the driver to appear. Search the car. Interview any potential eyewitnesses. Wait for the driver to appear. Offender caught. Purdy, Kochi. What a dream team. Asano and Birch are back. Not that I'd really want to rely on Birch for anything right now. Suspicious individual reported. We had caught the offender. Officers unharmed. Excellent work again. Dragon's Lair Club. Mr. Boyd, I'm opening Freeburg's first martial arts club, and for my first exhibition I want to hold a sparring match where one of my students takes on your toughest cop. After the fight I'll teach your man a few tricks, something that will help him out on the streets. We'll give you Asano, because Birch, I think, would be blown over by a stiff breeze, so... Unfortunately, we didn't get Purdy back in time, but... You know, we have to give love to the less professional members of staff. She's young, she might learn some new things. Oh, well, homicide. Your detectives present frames. Different versions of what might have happened at the crime scene. You have 3 new frames. They get it wrong half the time, but a good cop can separate fact from fiction if they know how to look at the case materials. The more professional detectives working on an investigation, the better their instincts. To get your suspects, you'll need to figure out the true sequence of events at a crime scene, using the frames you think likely, sometimes with a little guesswork thrown in. If you add it all up but the sequence fails, you're probably telling the wrong story. So we have guy coming out of the building. So was this called Ronnie Moore? So this is Ronnie Moore leaving his home. This is, I presume, the car escaping behind drug... Is it called Drug Lord? Yes, behind the known chemist of Drug Lord. How about this? Oh my god, I got the sequence right. When an investigation pans out, you'll have yourself a suspect. Sometimes there's more than one, but in this case, your detectives have narrowed it down to a single candidate. Travis Horton, a known racist who already has several previous convictions. So from this, the car turning the corner, shooting out the car window, and then exiting behind Drug Lord has got us the conviction. Case closed. Your detectives have information on the whereabouts of the suspect. Sometimes there might be a number of locations to choose from. Ah, we have to send up police now. To carry out an arrest, 2 officers must escort the lead investigator to apprehend the suspect. If the lead investigator is not on duty, the arrest will have to wait. But remember that fugitives won't sit patiently until your schedule clears. We can send SWAT on this. Also remember that criminals will react in different ways. A frightened thief is likely to surrender as soon as the game's up. A brutal killer might want to see just how many he can take with him. With more dangerous criminals, it's safe to send experienced officers, and even a SWAT team if you see fit. If you want experience, you're going to have our best cop, Purdy, my oldest cop, Birch, and we'll send the SWAT team. Go get them. Okay. A bartender reports a fight that a couple of dancers started fighting over tips, and a cat fight broke out right on the stage. There's almost no point in me keeping one cop behind, I think. So I will send Kochi, Tsubaki, and Austin for this. Just to get the job done. Well, you might miss a case here, but... yeah, we're going to miss something. There's nothing I can do. Another fight between the bar bouncer and a patron. Tried to sing a duet with a local singer. Well, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. We have no more officers. Offender escaped. Yeah, we know. We didn't send anyone. Chief, I just about nailed the Jap a couple of times. The Jap? You mean Jab? But he was too fast for me and won on points. Or are you talking about a Japanese person? Game, please. I don't really understand all their rules, so I can't keep track of points very well. But he was alright. He even showed me a few tricks after the match. I got carried away a little and pulled my back. Think I can take a day off. Great. Kevin's throat bar. On the stage, there's 2 strippers are going at it, and it's gone beyond arguing to a full-on cat fight. The bouncer is fast asleep, clearly too wasted to handle the situation. The drunken patrons are happily watching the fight. Draw your service weapon. Listen, girls, cut the crap, or this is going to get serious, or shut off the music and turn up the lights. You know what? Get the music off, turn up the lights. The strippers continue fighting, oblivious to the police presence. Step on the stage and separate them. Ask the bartender for a bucket of cold water. No. Watch the strippers go at it and don't interfere. No, we're going to separate them. We might get... No, I was going to say, we might get an officer harmed here, but we sent Kochi, Tsubaki, and Austin. That's good enough for me. End the day. Nope, we can't. The homicides. We caught the offender. Birch! Look at you go. Case solved, you were able to arrest all suspects. Hey, Mole went up by a lot. Was that plus 50 professionalism? I'll take it. That's a pretty good day, honestly, on the job. Birch is tired. So is DeBrito, but you can take a little bit of a rest now. Oh, do people not automatically move back over to their correct shifts? We'll see. I'll just end the day. Sorry, I was rehydrating for a moment. Retired police officer Thomas Blaine shoots pregnant woman. Terrible news. Mayor Rogers, city has no problems with racists. Rogers, that doesn't sound right to me. Officer Blaine explains, I thought she was a suicide bomber. Oh my god. Oh, shoot, Officer Blaine. Is it one of my police officers?
Why would a man need a barn? To store all the stuff you can't bring home. About 30 years ago, back when I was young and interested in farming, I carried all kinds of junk home. After a day in the field, I'd come home with buckets, shovels, dirty boots and clothes, and instantly transform the living room. But even back then, there's something I always kept in the barn.
Is it a car? Is it a gun? Pills.
I stopped keeping my pills inside the house because every time I was about to take a triple, someone would knock on my bedroom door. Now they're knocking on my barn door. Well, fine. It's not every day that someone comes to visit your barn. In all the years we worked together, Kendrick never came to visit the house. We drank at bars, went fishing, went to the mountains, even chased off some poachers one time. But he never came for dinner with the family. We never watched football over here. And now he's brought his friends to visit my barn.
I don't think the friends, mate.
I always try to look unsurprised, like it's an everyday thing to get visitors at the old barn. Especially guests with their own personal bodyguards. But Kendrick is sharp enough to see he's caught me with my pants on backwards.
Sorry for the surprise, Jack. We saw you from the car. Figured we'd find you in here. I'm going in for a minute, fellas. These guys will wait outside.
How long you been dating the lover boys?
They're Sans people, Jack.
Yeah. So now you're appearing in public with members of the Mafia?
Jack, I'm leaving tonight. More like fleeing. Jenny and I are taking the girls and making a run for it. Probably won't be seeing each other again. I've got new documents, a new name, a new life, everything new.
The papers say you're still working your last week for the department.
I've got to get out today. I won't be getting another chance. Don't know if you noticed, but the whole city is against me.
You told your Mafia friends about your plans.
Jackie, if I don't fix everything with them in the next few hours, they're going to kill me. And not just me. My family, my relatives, God, Jack, I don't know who else. They found out that I was planning to run and they demanded that we close our contract today.
Your contract, Frank? Really? Is that how you talk now? Maybe you should call in the lawyers to straighten all this out.
Now is not the time, Jack, please. I have a commitment to them until the end of the year. They need an inside line at police headquarters. I can't just give them back the money. That's not how the Mafia works. If I can't find someone I can trust tonight, I'm dead. You know me, Jack. I wouldn't ask you if I wasn't afraid they'd cut my daughters to pieces before sunrise.
He's the damn fool who puts his daughters in the crosshairs in the first place. Anyone in my place would have dressed him down good. But I didn't want to pile it on. Fate's already got this guy's soul in the grinder.
Ooh, difficult decision. Do we just sacrifice Kendrick? I think honestly whatever we pick, Kendrick is not going to come out good from this. You know what? It's really difficult. I think me in this situation would 100% refuse to help Kendrick, but it's not me in this situation, it's Jack Boyd. What's Jack Boyd got to lose? He's retiring, he needs the money. But you know, if you're going into with the mob, you know how it's going to end. But I think even if I refuse to help now, I'm still going to get brought into this somehow. So you know what, Kendrick, we'll help you.
Give him my phone number and tell him it's done. Don't call me. Don't come to work today. I don't want to see or hear from you again. Time for you to go.
Jack,
Get the fuck out of my nice cozy barn, Frank. At the time, I was trying not to think about what just happened. It was almost too much to take in. I'm probably the most popular police chief in the history of the city, and I have to admit, I've thought about that more than once, sometimes with a little pride even. In one of the features they wrote about me in the papers, they said it pretty plain. He catches the criminals. Believe me, high praise like that is unheard of in Freeburg, especially for a cop. And here I am, the person who catches criminals, and I've agreed to help the mafia, or I'll come home to a bag stuffed with my kids' body parts. Right before the last hammer falls. Hey, remember that cop who caught criminals? It turns out he was a mafia bitch. And all for the sake of a greedy, corrupt cop who should have fled the country years ago. That sound right to you?
Man, I'm having second thoughts on the decision. I honestly kind of forgot they said I had 3 kids. I probably wouldn't have done it if I'd remembered. But you know what? We'll help Kendrick out. Roy Hodgson, my father got drunk and beat my mother again. This time it looks pretty bad. I'd like to go to them. Can I have the day off? Yes, but coming tomorrow, Roy Hodgson. While I was climbing up the stairs, I started feeling a little dizzy. Can I have the day off? No. Get into work, Birch. So this is my shift 18. Let's start the day again. Ooh, some new music for us. Don't You Leave Me Here. Pierce Pickering Barrelhouse Jazz Bang. This sounds just what I need. After agreeing to help the mafia. But honestly, as I said, I think in any situation, I still think Kendrick is going to get killed. But you know, I'm 100% certain then if I said no, I would have had the weight on their family's death on my mind. So that was a different call, honestly. No matter your personal relationship with the city's administration, your police station is at their mercy. In order to maintain reasonable working conditions, you have to send appropriate requests to the mayor. Oh, City Hall. Decisions from City Hall depend on whether they're satisfied with your work. You can send requests every 5 days. The fools in charge of the city might refuse you outright, or accept only some of your requests, so only ask what you really need. An extra detective, an extra job officer slot, a SWAT upgrade, or a raise. I would like another officer slot, please. And we'll see how that goes. Here's your salary from City Hall, $1,200. That's not a lot, it feels like, for a week. Well, now that I think about it, in other words, it's actually a decent chunk. But for police chief, it feels pretty low. Although if this is after tax, yeah, you know what, maybe it's okay. Let me deal with this, sorry. Eddie's Burgers again, disorderly conduct. Every morning there's a dirty, piss-soaked bum sleeping in the cafe. Was this the guy that got run over the other day? The man refuses to go away and growls at anyone who approaches, scaring all the customers. We need good old Granny Price. And you know what? We'll send Stover with you, Price. Four officers. A witness looked on from a window while an armed man with a stocking on his head entered the nearby liquor store. Vandal, Birch Jr., Birch Sr., and Samedy. This is important. We'll send you all. I don't know if we're going to send SWAT then, actually. I should have checked. Tomorrow's the deadline. Yeah, I'm not doing it. A hot dog vendor reports they saw two Elvis impersonators grappling right there on the sidewalk. They're swearing in Spanish and beating each other with microphone stands. Fang, Grant, go and deal with it. Disorderly conduct? Officer caught? Officers unharmed? Perfect. Like, how can I fire Stovall, my, lead cop? Right, hopefully they're back soon enough so that they can accept more work. The robbery. The shop has two exits from which people have already fled. Enter the store through the main entrance, sneak up to the back door, drive a patrol car right through the front window. Sneak up to the back door, please. The stick-up man noticed the police presence and took the cashier hostage. He's holding a gun to the hostage's head, shouting, "Back off or I'll blow his goddamn face off." Meanwhile, the cashier is yelling in an unknown language. You in the mask, shut your face and drop your weapon. Silently take aim at the robber. Quiet Abdul, you're just making things more complicated. Now, don't say that, because you probably don't know he's called Abdul. And that is racist and offensive. Drop your weapon. The robber grows visibly nervous. Don't shoot, please. I just need the money. I'll just take a little bit and go. No one was hurt. The cashier begins to cry. Shoot the robber. I'll let you leave here upright, but only if you release the hostage. There's two ways out of the shop, in cuffs or in a body bag. Holy moly. Who did I send on this? I sent a decent squad. I sent Vandal. I trust Vandal's shot. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilian killed. We shot the hostage. Okay. We have a detective thing. City Centre. An antique Chinese necklace was stolen from Bao Ling while she was on the way to the pawn shop. Beasley and Flagella. Get onto it. It's a hot one today and there's a lot of people going for a swim. Last week, 4 people drowned on the beaches of Freiburg, and the press was in an uproar. Please send someone to keep an eye on things. Price. Right, the fight. Offender escaped. Eee. Not a successful day so far. I will try to accept both these jobs. There we go. Holy moly. Destruction of property. At a gallery expedition entitled Sex Operation, a gang of young people in ski masks forced their way in and began smashing the exhibits, shouting, "We don't need this shit in our city." Stovall, Vandal, and Birch, please proceed. And Jack, this year's organizer of the Golden Beast Hunt suddenly changed the rules of the annual shooting contest. It now features teams instead of single competitors. Can you send me at least 2 of your finest marksmen? I'd really love to do well in the competition. Samedy, Birch Jr. Get out there. The robbery. So, Mrs. Liang. Me and my husband got into a difficult financial situation, and I was going to pawn an antique necklace, which has been in my family for many centuries. As I was carrying the necklace to the pawn shop, someone ripped the bag from my shoulder and disappeared. I didn't have time to do anything, not even cry out. Mr. Fishman. The offender was on a motorcycle. He drove down the road, grabbed the bag, and then escaped. I tried to race after him, but I didn't even have time to see if it was a man or a woman. So a motorcycle. I couldn't see his face, but he was dressed in a jacket, like those other bikers who hang around the street corners. Phillips? It was definitely not a local biker. They are bald and have beards, but this guy looked Asian, probably Japanese or Chinese. Thomas Peterson, Whitson. Whitson? Witness. I didn't see a weapon in his hands. I just saw him grab the bag and ride off. Okay. Right, I've got 2 of my cops back. We're approaching the end of the day. I still have my SWAT here as well. Offender caught. Perfect. Officers unharmed. Always trust Stovall. Right, the report of the robbery. Open investigation. I have 3 new frames. So, this is first. This is after the bag has been hoisted, and this is him hoisting the bag. Quan Yin Lin, Chinese immigrant recently expelled from the university. Okay, we have our suspect. I would like Stovall to do this if I can. Oh. A guard went out for a smoke and saw a teenager writing obscenities on the wall of the building. I chased a brat up a tree. You can take it from here. Okay. Fang, Grant. This honestly seems like a job you can handle. Stovall's nearly back for this. So we'll send Stovall. I'm going to send Birch again. And we'll send SWAT. Van Dahl, just take a little rest. Nearly at the end of the day again. Ernest Fitzgerald. We did it, Boyd. We won. That Ernest really knows a lot about shooting. He even taught us a thing or two. He invited us out hunting to celebrate the victory. So are we taking a day off? We deserve it. Please don't everyone take a day off. Okay, vandalism. Come on, Fang and Grant. They were up a tree! How did you let them escape? Oh well, at least we caught the robbery from the Chinatown dormitory. Stovall, what a legend. Nice little bit of extra for my detectives. And let's end the day. Looks like tomorrow's going to be a long day. More like the first of a lot of long days. There's just too much going on. I have no stripes right now from what I can see. So we'll just end the day. Thomas Blaine, pregnant woman killer, sent to mental hospital. Oh, I didn't ever check was he one of my staff. Mayor Rogers not afraid of the competition. And according to Dr. Eleanor Waterbury, Thomas Blaine had a new form of schizophrenia.
Mr. Boyd, there was a man here earlier. He left you this.
A man? What man? Who let him on this floor?
I don't know. I've never seen him before.
Sand.
I asked him his name, but he just ignored me. He was talking on a big telephone, you know, one of those portables. He gave me this envelope and left.
Damn. Okay, let's see about this.
Oh?
Of course, they could have shot them the second they took the photo. But I knew Kendrick and his family were all right. Either way, the message was not that they got out. It meant that I was in. My servitude to the Mafia had begun. I'd only been in my new position 5 seconds, and I already knew why Kendrick called it a contract. You sound doomed if you call it what it is. A curse.
We did it for you, Kendrick.
Good morning, Jack. I believe you just received my message.
Who am I speaking with?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget some people don't recognize my voice. But I assure you, Jack, if I was sitting right there in front of you, you'd have no trouble recognizing me. Like I was a member of your family. Even better than a wife, perhaps. A wife can betray you. No man is immune.
I don't talk to people who don't tell me their names.
Oh, Jack, don't be so childish. You're too old to run away from strangers. Yes, we both are. And in our old age, friendship becomes rare and all the more precious. But of course, we must work with new people and find out new names. So if you insist, Jack, let us formally meet. Hello, Jack Boyd. I'm Christopher Sand.
Wonderful, Mr. Sand. And what is it you do for a living?
Oh, you'll soon find out all about that. Well, you'll learn much more than a simple policeman could ever expect. You're a simple policeman no longer, Jack. Don't turn off your phone. Start today.
Eight in 10. It's been my go-to principle since my first day on the job. I've got to let my colleagues hush up what they need to, 2 out of 10 times, so that they'll help me with the remaining 8. 80 out of 100, 800 out of 1,000. I'm proud of those statistics. It's not so bad for Freeburg, right? But now I just officially became a mafia whore. I'm supposed to be fearing for my life, for the lives of my wife and children. But the only thing I can think, what's gonna happen to 8 and 10?
Achievement unlocked, severed leg. Price didn't come into work today. Where's Price? Not in work. Okay. So Price is going to get fired. Roy Hodgson is fine. The Burrito's a bit tired. Okay, I can't really do anything here though. Sure. We'll start the day. I need something to calm the nerves. Singing him, John Sangster. Oh, that'll calm my nerves. Gang member Hyun Yin Lin turned out to be a member of a gang known as the Red Mass. He could help you track down the gang if you make him an informant. I agree. There are a number of gangs in Freeburg, and that means there's bounties to collect. Some of the criminals you come across will be members of one gang or another. In exchange for immunity, they may be willing to give up their bosses. So Ning Hee starts to investigate. In this way, you can get your hooks into gang members higher and higher up the food chain, and ultimately take down the boss. If you do arrest the boss, the gang will be finished, and you'll get to claim your reward. There is also a reward for formally charging gang members. Whenever you arrest a gang member, you get a bonus, but your deal with that person is over. Don't settle for small fish. Use the small fish to catch the bigger fish. Hey, we're fishing, we're getting a hobby. Start to investigate this guy. The lead. I'll get my finest detective, so let's get Mole on the case. Okay. In affairs, we want to do a few things now. 4 days for my request. Oh, did they just give it me straight away and I just didn't notice? No. Okay, personnel. Where is Price? Fire legally, please. Goodbye, Price. Part of me also wants to fire Birch, but I'm not going to right now. Right, I have a slot now to replace. We want this on Shift B as well. Roberta Timpson. Welcome to Shift B. I meant Shift A, I'm stupid. Oh well. Can I change this here? I guess because he's not here yet, I can't. That's fine. Bowling gave several interviews in which she spoke about atrocities committed by the Red Mask gang. She embellished a lot and distorted the facts. If you want to keep people from panicking, you'll need to take down the gang within the next 4 days. Jack, you swore an oath to serve the city. If you can't keep your promises, we won't keep ours. Okay. Now you can hire one more police officer. Hey! Maximilian Bloomingdale. Welcome to Shift A.
410A in progress.
Okay. 410 in progress. Sugar Dream Confectionery attempted murder. A young employee at the factory got into a fight with the manager, and he's trying to push him to a vat of boiling chocolate. Purdy, you go solve this with Tsubaki. Pretty good team here. Okay, investigation has started. Right hand man. Ning-hee is the faithful assistant Jin Yang, a founding member of the gang. He's entrusted with the most serious jobs. Ning-hee keeps his more valuable prizes at home while he arranges their sale. He then brings them to the Wise Dragon restaurant on the day before he's planning to make the deal. The gang must have had an immediate buy for the necklace, so Ninky bought it to the restaurant the same night it was stolen. Usually the restaurant is open around the clock, but it was closed that night before because an important deal was going on. Ninky is a key to the restaurant, and valuables kept in the safe under the bar. Okay. I assume we're going to get some requests from Sand here as well. I don't know how we're going to treat this Sand investigation. Like, obviously we want to protect our family. So we might have to go along with some of the stuff Sand says. Alright, we caught the offender, officers unharmed. Purdy has got a perfect record. Okay, another suburb. Parking lot attendant Dylan Burns reports seeing a teenager walking between cars, trying handles in the hopes of finding an unlocked vehicle. Before the attendant could approach him, the teenager found an unlocked door and shut himself inside. A few seconds later, the teen drove shrieking from the parking lot, greatly exceeding the speed limit, and fled towards the suburbs. Kochi? Shaw? Austin? Go get this son of a bitch. Okay, our other officers are back. Perfect. Pretty quiet day so far. Carjacking. Officers determine the car theft's location. Overtake the criminal and attempt to take him to custody. Overtake the offender and block the road. Catch up the stolen vehicle and open fire. No. Overtake the criminal and attempt to take him into custody. Let's try that. Yeah, we caught the offender. In America, they'd probably just do the pit maneuver, which they don't really do in the UK. Because, you know, they fear about what will happen to the car that is, you know, not in control anymore. Hostage situation. A weeping child called in, saying that someone was holding him against his will. They won't let me go outside. They torture me and bully me. I don't think I can keep going. I want to go outside and see Pete. I can send 4 officers, but I get the feeling just from the sound of this that it's going to be a false alarm, but we can't take that risk completely. So I'm going to send Yancey, Tsubaki, and Roy Hodgson. But I get the feeling this is just going to turn out to be a kid that, you know, has picked up the phone and just, like, called in, and, like, Pete's, like, the dog or something who's outside. But, you know, can't take a risk with a kid. Anyway, our other officers are back in time anyway. I only left 2 here just in case another thing propped up. Like so. We received a call from an angry casino patron. He claims that one of the casino girls was hanging around his table, lifted his wallet, which was carrying a couple $1,000 in cash and several credit cards. Casino security shoved him outside saying that he was drunk, but the man isn't giving up so easily. Purdy, Austin goes deal with this. From Christopher Sand, Jack, we're dealing with a moron who refuses to repay his debts. Says that the police will protect him. I think it's time to show him whose side the police are on. I can refuse or agree. We'll send the Sand now. I think we have to keep up with some of Sand's stuff. So let's get these good books early on. Oh, the hostage situation. Joseph Flowery's mother wouldn't let him go to play. I knew it was that. Still, I agree with who we sent. Theft. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Purdy. Done it again. Oh, by the way, in affairs, can I ask for something else from City Hall? No. I have to wait. Okay. Makes sense. Assault with a deadly weapon. At a parking lot exit, a security guard stopped a suspicious-looking van and asked to check the driver's membership card. The female driver reached casually into the glove compartment and pulled a gun and opened fire. Kochi, Yancey, Shaw, and Tsubaki, get out there. We'll send 4 of our best. ASAP. I don't know if waiting for like a certain amount of time also affects the things. Like, you know, I think 20-something seconds. If I waited to 1 second, maybe it makes it harder. I don't know. The police cruiser caught up to the perpetrator's van, shoot out the criminal's tyres, Use the bullhorn to order the van to stop, or try to run the van off the road. The van takes a sharp turn and crashes through the window of a sex shop. A woman exits the vehicle, grabs the shop attendant and puts a gun to his head. Throw a rubber sex doll at the assistant, shoot the criminal in the head, let go of that man now. Offender caught, officers unarmed, civilians unharmed. Great job, you guys. Shift B is really showing Shift A up right now. This is just a quality team of officers. Almost everyone's above average. Even Austin is like approaching it right now. Roy Hodgson, you know, they're doing a job. I have 3 new frames. Let's open the investigation up. So he has a key to the restaurant. What was the other thing? There's a safe under the bar. So I guess he's safe under the bar, restaurant, and opens the door. Ning He, Chinese immigrant, hasn't officially worked anywhere for the past 10 years. Let's go and get this guy. We'll send Purdy, and we'll send Yancey. And we'll send the SWAT team. Going to the early hours in the morning this time. See how this plays out. We caught the offender. Beautiful. Case closed. You were able to arrest all suspects. So start to investigate. Arrest him. So I can't start to investigate here. Why? Does he have to make me a deal? We'll see. But let's end the day. And we'll probably end the video there. Honestly, so far, I think we'll try and do like a Shift A and a Shift B round per video. I think that's a pretty good, you know, number of things to do. If you're enjoying the content on the channel, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.